Good morning, world of readers. I am Book Dragon Erin, and I would like to welcome you all back to my booktube channel, where today I will be reviewing The Devil's Advocate by Ashley Jade. This review has been a long time coming, and I can't wait to talk about it with you today. The Devil's Advocate is a new adult fiction dark romance novel, and it is an MMF theme love story. For those of you who don't know, that's a male-male female romance, so there is a love triangle here. And The Devil's Advocate is book 2 in the Devil's Playground series. And I would probably have to say this is one of my favorite book duologies of all time. And in this book duology of the Devil's Playground series, we have The Devil and The Devil's Advocate. Readers who read this book also enjoyed Credence by Penelope Douglas. I have this book, but I haven't read it yet. Den of Vipers by K.A. Knight. I have this book, I have read it, and now I need to seek out my therapist because I have a crush on Diesel. Am I really right in the head? Other readers have also enjoyed The Dare by Harley LaRue. I have this book on my Christmas list, and I am not even joking with you guys. Then we also have The Ritual by Chantal Tessier. I have this book, but again, I haven't read it yet. As far as the plot goes, one man thinks I'm a saint, the other thinks I'm a sinner. One man lives in the public eye, and the other lurks in the shadows. One man wants to use me for his own needs, and the other uses me for revenge. One man will get what's coming to him, and the other will get what he deserves. They told me good girls will get rewarded, but I've been bad. Very bad. I made a deal with the devil, and I liked it. My thoughts on this book? When it comes to duologies, I have never obsessed more over a 2-book series than the Devil's Playground series. The Devil's Playground is hot, heavy, dark, erotic, kinky, sexual, and everything I lust over in a dark romance series. So seriously, guys, read the series. It is so worth reading. Kudos to Ashley Jade for writing another rich, dark, captivating masterpiece of a series. Oh my gosh, I loved it. I wish there was an HBO special on this with all the kinky love scenes and everything in between. Just like the first book in the Devil's Playground duet, this book, The Devil's Advocate, is just as addictive as a read than the first book, if not more so. I love the way the plot develops quickly, and as readers we get to see the true toxicity of Cain as a character who is far worse than Damien ever was. Cain uses and abuses people for his own gain, like his fiancée, who I am not bothering with her name because she is truly forgettable. And even his stepdaughter Eden, he abuses her mentally, emotionally, and even physically. It is so toxic. I wound up liking Cain at the beginning, but then once we got to the ending of the first book, my feelings about him changed, and I have no regrets about that. Also, Cain plans to marry his fiancée, gain the title as mayor, move up through the political ranks, and eventually run away with Eden. It is so chaotic, his mind. If we opened up his skull and looked inside his brain for every single thought, we would be scared to death. Plus, Cain even abuses Eden by calling her spoiled goods and used right in front of her because he caught Damien hooking up with Eden. I don't care if a girl still has her V card or not. A man who claims to love her should never degrade this woman like that. I am so aggravated by this because when I was a teenager myself, I had a family member calling me a slut and a whore all the time just because I wore fitted clothes and wore somewhat low-cut tops and loved kinky romance novels. The thing is, I never hooked up with anyone. So how could this family member continue to call me a slut and a whore when I never was one in the first place? That's not fair. As you can see, it still bothers me because I never want to be thought of as a slut. Moving on immediately, I was so unsure of who my favorite character was because all the characters were so intricate and woven together that they seem to complement each other in each of their interactions, but I love the quick and intense character development over the course of these 2 books. I mean, with Cain, he starts out as the good student who always follows the rules, but is quickly corrupted by Damien before developing into an even darker character than Damien himself. Moving on to Damien, he starts out as the bad guy because of his devilish charm and seducing everyone and anyone he meets, and he hooks up with Eden. He takes her V-card, but then he genuinely starts to care for Eden and wants to be by her side in her happily ever after. I am not saying what happens, but you will be very pleased with the way the series wrapped up. Moving on to Eden, she starts out as an uncorrupted character and knows very little about the real world, and she's so in love with Cain that she doesn't see how much he's taking advantage of her. But when she meets Damien, he pushes her to her limits before she finds out for herself just how strong she really is. So her development from victim to victor is so beautiful, and I absolutely love that. Another thing I love about the Devil's Playground series is that I see extremely loose connections to biblical tales. Now, it has been over 2 decades since I last read the Bible, but I still remember my mom telling me stories about the characters in the Bible. So, where Cain is concerned, Abel and Cain in the Bible were brothers, and Cain was corrupted by jealousy and killed his own brother. Damien, in biblical tales or whatever, is said to be the son of the devil who claims that devilish charm to get his way and move up in political ranks. If that's not biblical stories, then that's a so-called prophecy that a certain religion has. And then we have Eden, who is the world uncorrupted by darkness until she gets a dose of the real world. All that in mind, with this duology, Cain killed his brother and his dad out of jealousy because he was never shown love. Damien does have that devilish charm that everyone falls for, and I love him as a character. And Eden gets her own dose of reality, and everyone needs that in order to truly grow up, and I was very happy that Eden got to have her own transformation from weak character to strong character, and it was just so beautiful to see, dark as it was. I would probably have to say my favorite part in this whole book is Eden realizing, with Damien's help, that Cain and her mom were literally abusing her mental health by giving her drugs, purposely making her agoraphobic and beyond dependent on Cain after her mom died. Eden's response was, if anyone is going to take out Cain now, it's going to be me. Power, moves, following. This whole scene was absolutely fantastic, and Cain's demise was so sweet. It was like biting into a cherry that is the sweetest thing you've ever tasted, and that analogy is sort of disturbing to me, so let's move on. There was a plot twist that I did not see coming about Eden's family, and the secrets that went deeper than I ever could have imagined. Seriously, I read the boom plot twist moment, and I was so stunned that I actually had to put the book down and regroup in my own head, because I was so worried about the too much in the family aspects going on, but I can assure you that was not the case, thank God. Just saying, that would have been a major mood killer in this whole series. Forgetting everyone else's ratings, my rating, I would give this book 5 out of 5 stars, and I am so serious. If Amazon and Goodreads allowed it, I would have given this book a 10 out of 5 stars rating, just because, wow, I have never been so obsessed over a duology than this one ever before in my whole life. I loved everything about this series, and not just this one book alone, I mean the whole thing, from start to finish. Eden's transformation was incredible, Damien's retribution is intense, and Cain convinced me that he is the real devil in all of this. Plus, the plot twists left my head spinning, thinking about, okay, huge spoiler here, Damien and Cain were both hooking up with that teacher from the flashbacks, and Eden is really that teacher's daughter. Cain and Damien both slept with Eden. So that's what I meant when I said all in the family. That was not the case. I am very happy that this wasn't an incest romance because I draw a line with that. But oh my gosh, that huge plot twist, even further than the teacher being Eden's real mom, was so intense. I did not see that coming. I was left thrilled, bewildered, and amazed. And I was just thinking to myself, Ashley Jade, please give me more. I need it. Anyway, that is all for today. So if you enjoyed this book review video, hit that like button to show some support. Subscribe to my booktube channel to get more videos like this. Turn on that notification button to be notified when I upload brand new videos every single Sunday. Keep on reading and have a great day, everyone.